Hey guys, Pastor Quinn here to help you prepare to teach this upcoming Sunday. We are continuing with the story of Abraham. This week, though, we are going to be looking at three different chapters, three small sections of three different chapters, in order to kind of show you guys the covenant of Abraham. We want the kids to understand who Abraham is. We want them to understand that God made a covenant. Last week, we talked about how God told him to go, and he went. God also told him that when he went, when he successfully did that thing, that there would be a covenant coming to him later. And now we're going to see that covenant actually being established with him. So we're going to kind of look at this at three different areas. Number one, we're going to look at Genesis chapter 12. Now, in Genesis chapter 12, we're going to see first off, sorry, got to turn my page there. I want to quote this correctly for you. The first thing he says to him when he calls him, he says, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Here's a promise he gives him. "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." Well, we see this in the formation of Israel coming up in the next couple of books. We see that Israel turns into a great, mighty, huge nation, right? There's a lot of people in the nation. We see that the name of Abraham is made great. Even today, the Jewish people still revere Abraham as one of greatness. Moving on down through that, I really want to focus on where it says, "will be blessed through you." Through Abraham's family, if we trace that line all the way through, and you see this in the book of Matthew, if you trace that line all the way through, you get right to Jesus. The whole world was blessed through Abraham's family because the world was blessed through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, who comes from Abraham's family. All right, that's the first part of that promise. The next part of that promise is that he's going to have many offspring. In chapter 15, God tells Abraham to look up to count the stars, and that the number of stars is not going to equal the amount of people in his family, right? He's illustrating how massive Abraham's family is going to be and how important that's going to be as well. Now, moving on, even more than that, finally we see in chapter 17, and this is my favorite part, where Abram becomes Abraham, the father of many nations. And let me just read this for you here. It says that he will make him fruitful. Then it says, this is God speaking to Abraham, "I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come." He's saying, I'm going to establish this promise, not only for you, but for everyone that's coming after you. It's going to last forever. He says, this covenant is to be your God and the God of your descendants after you, to be your God. If we look in Deuteronomy and we look at some other spots in the Old Testament, the idea of I am your God and you are my people, we want the kids to also understand that he is our God, and as Christians, we are his people. This covenant also says that the whole land of Canaan where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and to your descendants after you. Guys, I really want you to see how much all these promises are already being fulfilled. There is a sense in all these promises that they were fulfilled in the short term, but they'll be fulfilled in the long term. This everlasting covenant, when there's a new heaven and a new earth, this will be that. We will still be in the land then as part of that everlasting covenant. Of course, the land belonged to the Israelites in the short term. They lost it in the short term, but it will belong to them and to us again in the long term when we are on a new heaven and a new earth. All of the promises that he made to Abraham, we have to see them as fulfilled in the story and person and work of Jesus Christ, fulfilled in our life, fulfilled in the future. We want the kids to know that when God is making these promises to Abraham, they're about Jesus and they've been fulfilled. We're not still waiting to know, oh, is God going to hold up his end of the deal? Of course he is. They've already been fulfilled, but they will be further fulfilled and perfected even at the end days when Christ comes back in all of his glory. So there's a lot here. Unfortunately, we'll be outside. We won't have all the tech and everything with us. So excuse me, we're just going to kind of stick straight to it. We're not going to deviate too much from it. There's some more that I would like to get into that we're just not going to be able to because we're a little limited while we're waiting on the room to get done. But guys, I just appreciate you guys so much. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm glad to be of any help, any assistance I can to you, and we'll see you this Sunday.